Hey everybody, this is Perch. There's been a lot of requests. I think, well, requests, proposals. I don't know, whatever the right word is here, around kind of a standard operating behavior for creators, and it may surprise a lot of you to know I that it always makes me uncomfortable because I don't like this idea of setting rules on behavior. And I think, yeah, I can go at it either emotionally, I can go at it logically. If I go at it logically, and you're hiring a bunch of independent contractors, a bunch of freelancers, that's going to be ridiculously hard to enforce, and it will not hold up in court. That's why the dirty little secret, a lot of things, is that people dodge writing a lot of this stuff down, so it gives companies the flexibility to kind of fire at will, or just not hire again at will. That's why they do things the way they do. I see a lot of people like, well, why don't the big companies, why don't the big two just publish their rules of behavior and then set it out like that? Well, because there's been a number of state rulings that say if you start doing things like that and you employ somebody on a contract basis, i.e. not full-time. So if you're asking them to adhere by a certain set of rules that go, what I think the phrasing that the court case uses, like above and beyond kind of normal rules of engagement, then these people are entitled to the same benefits that full-time employees have. And so what happens is the companies just kind of punt on the whole discussion. They choose to ignore it. They ignore a lot of behavior maybe they shouldn't ignore, and that gives them the flexibility to kind of just be very, very flexible with their workforce. One of the things that is interesting, or I don't know if that's the right word, but a lot of companies, when you're employing contractors, independent or ICs or freelancers, whatever, you can terminate at immediately. You don't have to give 30 days. You don't have to give severance. You don't have to pay off vacation time. There is no vacation time. And by the way, just as an aside, if you're a full-time employee at a company and your company recently rolled out this amazing new benefit called unlimited vacation, it's amazing, right? It's like we trust you. I always love the way these are rolled out. A lot of people have sent them my way for whatever reason. I've gotten a reputation for looking over contracts for holes, but this is one that's been very common over the last 5 years or so, which is we as a company trust you, the employee, and that's why we offer unlimited vacation. Cool. It's an amazing benefit, right? Just take all the vacation you need. What an amazing company to basically say, whenever you're burned out, just take some time off, get yourself better. I mean, that is definitely an employee-friendly company. Except, typically speaking, when you work for a company, you get what they call vacation time. And typically speaking, you don't use all your vacation time. Some people are very good at always working their vacation time down to zero every year, but most don't. And you don't because the company subtly wants you to just keep working. So what happens is when you go and get another job, the company has to pay out your vacation time. Legally, the majority of the states, the vast majority of the states, there's a couple exceptions, you have to pay the employees unused vacation time. So basically, these companies carry what they call liability, and that liability is all the unused vacation time in the company. And sometimes that can add up to millions of dollars if you're a big company. So cleverly, what companies have done is say, you know what? We're going to have zero vacation time. We're going to give unlimited vacation time, which means you don't accrue anything, which means if you leave, you get nothing because there is nothing. It was just you work it out with your manager and take time off when you do, knowing that most employees will not use that system, and there's been plenty of stats to prove it. It's just this. I think I've told this story before, but it's always one of those. If I mention this to other people, they're like, "Oh my God, I hadn't thought about this. I'm getting screwed." It's like, yes, congratulations. Whatever. But there are lots of legal reasons why setting standard rules for behavior for creators is tough. But on a moral level, and again, it sounds good. It's a wonderful Twitter kind of thing to say. Yeah, we should make all content creators should be forced to be nice people. Well, that doesn't quite work. And the problem is it's very vague. And if somebody is a rotten person, then giving them rules saying you better not be a rotten person rarely helps. It's one reason why, yeah, we have laws in this country, but we don't go on a regular purge every couple nights because if everybody you see around you, I don't know where you are, maybe you're in isolation, but if you look around a busy mall and you think if everybody suddenly had it in their heads that they could commit whatever crimes they want as long as they could get away with it, then you'd have anarchy very quickly. Most people self-select, but there are some assholes out there who can't seem to do that. And so we have a structure of laws and rules that, kind of more or less keep people in line. If you're a company and you start saying things like, "Hey, you need to be good to fans," that sounds good. And again, as a customer, as a fan, I'm with you. I'm on your side. Except it doesn't quite work. Because at its core, if somebody is a rotten person, they're going to find ways to be rotten. They're going to find ways to damage the company, harm the relationship with the customers, whatever it happens to be. They're going to be lousy. Trying to enforce that through rules is really just a temporary solution. It's something you can put in place for the moment, but over time, your best bet is to, shocker, get better people. And so I find when I see these requests, and the reason I'm doing this video is somebody sent me a message saying, "Hey, would you support a set of rules for comic creators? Would you support a set of rules?" And I thought about it for a while, and I'm like, well, yeah, but my rules are probably not what, internet customers think. My rules are things like turn in your work on time, be professional to your coworkers, and don't plagiarize. It'd be stuff like that. It'd be stuff around getting their job done. And then the rule I would have is not a rule to the creators. It's more of a rule to the company, which is to say, hey, if somebody consistently acts like an asshole and hurts our business, chases people away, makes our company look stupid, makes it so we always have to issue statements about how this person doesn't speak for us, that kind of thing, then I would put the effort into getting rid of those people. I would put the effort into removing the problems, not trying to enforce it through rules. And I know it's a self-philosophy. It depends on what you would do as an employer and everything else. But I think it would be in the best interest of companies to, set up a nice mechanism where, number one, maybe people are paid a little bit more. So, that's an incentive not to act like a crazy asshole because you don't want to give up that money. Maybe I would try and provide a little more stability in my workplace so that the employee didn't feel like they were, or the contractor, whatever it is, didn't feel like they were constantly on edge. One of the things that I think drives bad behavior, I say drive, I didn't say excuse. It just doesn't excuse bad behavior. Nothing excuses bad behavior. Everybody has personal responsibility. But one of the things I think drives some of that bad behavior is a complete insecurity about your position. And if you are, basically given 3-month, 6-month contracts, and you're not quite sure where you stand, and then you got a bunch of people on Twitter who are screaming at you, at some point you're probably going to pop. Now, is it good that you pop? No. Is it okay that you pop? No. But it's expected. It's and I think as an employer, as somebody guiding a company, what I try and do is tackle the expected things. The expected things being, give the workforce a little bit more clarity about where they stand. Try and have a really nice feeder program. The writers' workshops and those kinds of things, those were good ideas. Did they turn out to anything? A lot of people went through the writers' workshop. Do we have a nice, healthy, influx of new talent? Or did we kind of just piss that away, do some press releases, and move on? Did we fill up the writer's workshop or the artist's workshop? Do we fill it up with, aspiring, promising candidates? Or did we go for a bunch of buddies that we had back in high school or worked in a comic shop with, or wanted to score some points on a press release about how diverse we are? Did we actually accomplish the job of setting up a nice feeder system of talented up-and-coming people? That's where I would focus. And then I would give my company a lot of flexibility to remove problems. And I'd be very aggressive. I would again, one of the funny things, I say this a lot, is if I was to run a comic publisher, I would give everyone a raise. I would absolutely work to give all the editors and everyone a raise. Now, keep in mind, I know money doesn't grow in the magical fairy tree. You have to earn that money in order to give the money. But I would figure out what it would take to get more influx of cash. I would pay my editorial staff more, but along with that pay would come higher standards. It's like, hey, I think all of you should be making 6 figures, and all of you should be doing a 6-figure job. You should all feel that level of responsibility, and we're going to train, and we're going to mentor, and we're going to make sure that this position is worth a lot of cash, and you want to stay here. You're motivated to keep working in this position because, damn it pays well. It's a dream job. I think comics for a long time kind of has allowed itself to be like, man, we employ people who have always wanted to work in comics. Well, that's cool, great, but are you basically abusing that love? And I think, I've talked to more than one person who's like, yeah, it felt like the publisher in this case was really banking on the fact that I always wanted to work in comics, and that's thus they could pay me less because they were basically giving me my dream job. It's like, well, is it your dream job if you're not paid anything? So I don't know. Again, your mileage may vary, and I'm sure it does. And I'm sure there will be a couple, dumbasses in the comments who will come in and be like, "Oh, yeah, Perch says that creators can do whatever they want." If that's your takeaway, then yes, you're an idiot. But more than that, I don't know how to say it any differently. Like I've tried to be diplomatic for years, and it's like finally, like if you're gonna wildly misinterpret what's said, then you're just dumb. Moving on. I think regulating behavior is it's like wading in quicksand. I think you're better off trying to staff yourself with people who want to be there, who are well incentivized to be there, and be more aggressive in removing people who clearly are causing problems. And that's what I would do, for what it's worth. So there you go. Standards of behavior, rules of behavior, probably not. Rules of removal, absolutely yes. What about you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and thanks for listening.